Hello, art lovers, and today we're going to be talking about art censorship in schools. Now, today I will be showing you why students should be free to paint and sculpt whatever they want, to an extent, non-censorship in sculptures and paintings, as well as some pieces around the school that are uncensored. Now, I do believe that art should be censored to a certain degree. I know some people can be triggered by some explicit paintings as well as images. And some of this stuff can be considered as sexual. Now, depending on a child's maturity, we should be able to get them accustomed to this type of art early on. Limiting what students can draw can stifle their creativity as well as limiting what they can do in the future. Now, as for a show of hands, how many of you are wanting to take an art class in college? To some extent, okay? Now, it's very important that you're used to seeing somewhat of a nude body, because most of these classes will have nude models that you will draw and paint. Now let's get into some of the artworks that include nudity. This is David by Michelangelo. This was made in the Renaissance era. David was made to show off that David was a big figure in Greek culture, as well as Greek mythology and things among them. He now stands inside the plaza, and was later moved to a university. This is Venus Italica by Antonio Cava. This sculpture was made in 1802 to show an aesthetic of clear-minded people and an angelic-like figure. This type of art was also known as like a classical figures in art, like traditional type style. Another sculpture would be Nike of Sumeroki, the Winged Victorian. And this statue stands at the Louvre in Paris. This was also a Renaissance era statue, and it was known for being a Hellenistic sculpture of the goddess Nike in Greek mythology. Another one would be the Little Mermaid in Denmark. Now, this sculpture was made in honor of a folk tale around their little town. And surprisingly, this specific sculpture got vandalized a lot, specifically with paint. Paint got blown off of its rock and even beheaded by some people. Now, let's get into some of the paintings. We have The Creation of Adam by Michelangelo in 1512, and it sits at the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel. This painting has become a symbol of humanity, and it has the image of both Christ and Adam trying to touch fingers. We also have The Birth of Venus by Sandra Bellacci in the year 1485, which depicts the goddess Venus arriving to her island. And she is depicted as being pure. She is really detailed if you see it up close. And she's the one sitting in the shell. It is one of the most iconic paintings known in the Renaissance. Another really interesting painting is this one. It is called Therese Dreaming by Balathus, and it was made in 1938. Now, it may seem interesting because she's fully clothed, right? But in fact, this painting was not liked by many people because of its suggestive content in the background, even though she is fully clothed. And most people say it's because the artist himself was infatuated with drawing younger people. Now, let's talk about some of the artworks around school. This is a painting one of my friends did. It's called Body Positive by Valerie Clark. She is a sophomore at Abraham Lincoln. And the reason why she made this painting is because she wanted to encourage body positivity and wanted to draw a woman's body without it being sexualized. We have a couple of art pieces by Cody Larson. Although I didn't get so much information from her about what her artwork was, she thought it was a really good idea about doing them. And then we have two art pieces from another person. This is Butterflies in My Stomach and Pieces of Her by Zyler Sigafus. She is a junior here at Abraham Lincoln. Butterflies in My Stomach was created to show body positivity, and it was made in honor of the expression, I have butterflies in my stomach. And it's also portrayed as a darker version of that. And Pieces of Her is a sculpture that she is currently working on, and it's going to show multiple pieces of a woman's body, as well as different skin colors and different body shapes to show different diversities. Now, we have talked about why students should be free to paint almost anything, non-censorship in sculptures and paintings, and pieces around the school. Now I have one question for you. Do you think art should be censored in schools? Thank you.